It has literally been less than an hour. But right over there, I shot 2 back-to-back Naughty Nick videos. And after I made those videos, a thought occurred to me, and that is, I bet there's gonna be some people who watch the video and are going to accuse me of impersonating a gay man. And that's not what I was doing. I was impersonating I was trying to pretend like I was a woman, but I'm not very good at it. And what's funny, again, the reason I announced at the beginning of this video that I just shot that less than an hour ago is because I haven't seen the comments that are gonna show up in those Naughty Nick videos, but I can predict that there's at least gonna be one person who's gonna say that I'm homophobic and making fun of gay men, when that's definitely not that. In fact, on this channel, I've been very upfront. Years ago when I started making these videos, I say, I want everyone to be here. I don't care what your orientation is, your ethnicity, whatever it is. If you want to be here, you're welcome to be here. So what that brings up though is a point that I think we need to talk about, because some of my videos explore the challenge of trying to understand what it actually means to be a masculine male, what masculinity looks like now in 2018, which is why I make those Naughty Nick videos. Because if we crank up the masculinity all the way, then it just becomes silly. And that's to reinforce that concept. So when a character like that, who is so over the top masculine in a cartoonish way, is stripped of his chest hair, which was the secret to his testosterone, he didn't become a gay man, he became more feminine. And I think that is the point I want to make. I think that it is assumed that if a man is gay, it's assumed he's effeminate. When that's not the case. There are a lot of gay men who you would not know, and they do not act effeminate. And I think that's a conversation we need to have. And again, I've mentioned before, I'll mention it again. There's a documentary called Do I Sound Gay? And it was on Netflix, maybe it'll show up again one day, but a gay man himself made this documentary talking about how the norm for gay men is to have effeminate qualities. And even the way they have a certain list that they talk, and he even showed that they did a study where he talks to all these other gay men, and they found out that when they were in 1st, 2nd grade, they all had to go to speech class. And that's like a pattern that happens, that coincidentally, boys who end up growing up to be gay men have that same speech pattern even as boys. And so I thought that was very interesting. But again, that's not the norm. That is a norm, but it's not for everyone, as I'm trying to say. I'm very big on looking at patterns and understanding that it's important to recognize a pattern exists, but at the same time, not to assume that that is the situation for everyone. Okay? So I think that's why it makes it interesting to try to explore, well, you know, as far as what modern masculinity looks like, I would say definitely it's a little bit more feminine. It's a little bit more beta, because you have to be personable. You have to be a good communicator. You have to be willing to collaborate and work with other people. You can't just demand your way out. That doesn't work. That does not translate in 2018. But I guess what I'm sorting out, and you can help me with in the comment section, is as we look, let's envision what you think an alpha male is supposed to act like and look like and be like. Let's say we took back some of that testosterone and everything that made him masculine. We're sliding that down so that now he's less masculine. But at some point, are we making an assumption in our mind that he becomes gay and instead of becoming a girl? For a straight man to impersonate a woman, are we assuming that he is impersonating a gay man? And that's the point. The point is this: when I impersonated a woman, I was not impersonating a gay man. But what happens was, because I think there's that generalization that audiences already have, they assume, oh, he's pretending to become gay. Nope, I was pretending to become a woman. So yes, there are certain stereotypes that do exist, and maybe even certain patterns that we see in gay men. But that doesn't mean that when a straight guy pretends to be a woman that we have to assume that he's gay. I think that is a reflection on an audience built-in perceptions of what's going on. Never pretended to be a gay man in the video. Pretended that I was becoming a woman by stripping myself of my source of masculinity. So I think we need to further this conversation. I think an important part of this channel is that we explore the concept of what the definition of masculinity is. Because in the same way, the definition of being feminine has changed. And that's not to say that women are becoming more masculine and men are definitely becoming more feminine. I think maybe to certain degrees we're starting to see a little bit of a crossover, but that doesn't mean that altogether men are less masculine and women are more feminine. It's just that we're becoming more comfortable with swapping roles. So let's explore that. But again, just imagine I made those 2 Naughty Nick videos less than an hour ago, right over there. I angled the camera over there. And after I made the videos, thought, I'm pretty good at predicting what people will say in the comments. And I already am assuming that there's going to be people try to say that I was making fun of gay men. And again, I want to be clear. If I have gay men watching my channel, the more the merrier. I want you here. I want everybody here who wants to be here. But just know that my impersonation of a woman does not mean that I'm making fun of gay men, because that would be stereotyping gay men to say that, oh, gay men, they're all effeminate. They all act like women. I do not believe that. I do not believe that. I was acting in my own mind what it would be like to be a woman. So I think that, like many of my videos, people watch the content, they take it in, and then through their own perspective, translate their own meaning from it. And sometimes I think it's important to let people wonder with those own thoughts. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong that no one would have assumed that I was trying to impersonate a gay man. Maybe everyone understood that I was literally just pretending to become a woman. So maybe I'm wrong and I've just wasted 7 minutes of a video, but not really, because I think we still need to talk about this. We need to talk about the concept that being an alpha male in 2018 doesn't mean you're some silly over-the-top character, but it doesn't mean that you're somehow becoming necessarily more feminine or more gay, or that a masculine male, if he impersonates a woman, that automatically means he's impersonating. That is a reflection of what people buy into it, because they themselves are tuned into a stereotype. But I'm not. I recognize patterns, but I definitely like to focus on exceptions to the rule, because again, in that documentary, Do I Sound Gay?, one of the points that man talked about, he talked about how in gay culture that because maybe the majority is more effeminate about certain things in the speech pattern specifically, which is what the documentary is about, the majority is especially attracted to those more masculine men who are gay. So it was really interesting. I watched it a couple years ago and it challenged me, and I think it's very interesting. So I would love to hear feedback on this, especially if you are one of my gay subscribers and gay viewers. I'd love to hear more about this. I'm very open-minded. I want to learn. So teach me what I need to know right here.